In the last 4 years, there haven't been much of a competition between Genshin Impact and other gachas, as Genshin Impact was vastly different than all of them. I have played a lot of other gacha games when I got bored of Genshin, and none of them stick with me, as none of them had a similar feeling to Genshin. Not even Raid Shadow Legends' deals could make me play that game all the time, and I love body shape diversity, which is something Genshin doesn't have. Now has come Wuthering Waves, a brand new adventure with a large world similar to Genshin's. It has all the things that Genshin has, but more or better, mostly that is. In this video, instead of comparing both games, I will instead talk about Wuthering Waves' first week experience, what things were wrong with it, and things that are good with it. I will still mention Genshin wherever needed as an example, but if you came here expecting me to say either game is better, you came to the wrong place. Both games are good in their own way, and you shouldn't feel bad for playing and enjoying either game. Firstly, let's talk about the story, as I have seen a lot of people complaining about it, especially Genshin players who wanted Wuthering Waves to not succeed. The story starts as standard. You don't know who you are, where you are, but you are immediately strong and admired. In the story department, no one can pass the charm of Honkai Star Rail, but Wuwa had a bit more issues with its storytelling, other than the simplicity of its beginning. There was a lot of exposition, speech boxes overfilling with text and the rest of this text not showing, some things that characters saying that not lining with the text being shown, and Yang Yang saying some things like a robot and pronunciating it right in expense of her speech feeling weird.
Jinzhou sits between the Desert Highland and the Northful Barrens. It's a border city and a fortress. It's very crucial to the safety of Huanglong.
Now, some of these problems are fixable. Mainly the text's not showing as it should be, a quick fix with adding a slide or button or something along those lines. Then make the localization better and most people will be satisfied. What about the constant exposition, you may be asking? That completely gets fixed after the third act in the story. The rest of the story after the third act is amazing in my opinion, especially in setting the factions in the world. As this is the first chapter in the story, I believe they did a good job. It is not as good as how Star Rail has started, but it is as good if not better than the first act of Genshin. Secondly, let's talk about the optimization issues, as we've had a lot of problems with it as the players. Now I want to say this, some of the problems I will be talking about has either been solved or at least has been improved upon. Now, while I haven't played on a phone or a tablet, I know that the game barely runs on one most of the time. As far as a close friend who plays on mobile told me though, it was improved already. I also had noticed that my frames were not smooth when the game first came out, but now it's actually smooth. For reference, I play on a laptop with 3050 Ti Nvidia graphics card and 16GB of RAM. All this is to say that the game is actually improving rapidly. I personally believe that most problems we are facing right now will be fixed in a few months. Maybe I'm too naive to think that, but I hope they actually listen to the criticism even more than they have already been doing until now. Aside from the optimization, do they not have bugs in their game? They absolutely do, but bugs aren't entirely bad when they aren't game breaking. At least there is no bug like Paimon in the game, and the main character actually speaks. That was a great decision to take in my opinion. Third and last, let's talk about what WoA is doing great, its gameplay and environment. The gameplay itself is varied and can be examined by different people in different ways. For example, some people love dodging and parrying, and some people love to change characters every second to form a flow. Neither one of these playstyles is correct or wrong, as you are the only person that can and should have the ability to play and see what kind of a playstyle you prefer. No person has the right to come to you and say you are playing the game wrong. About the environment, the game is set in a post-apocalyptic setting, which means that there was a disaster that destroyed much of humanity and monsters came about basically. I have seen some people complain that there wasn't much color to the environment or characters, and I believe these people came to WoWa from Genshin and were trying to nitpick everything. Whether you like it or not, the design that's currently in the game works perfectly for it. The subtle storytelling through the environment and character design is amazing. In Genshin, however, everything is bright, colorful. Now, Netland trailer was released for example. I was expecting the environment of there to be littered with war destruction, but it's just prehistoric for some reason. I guess it will make a better gameplay for Netland, but how will it tie with the story? We will have to wait and see. Overall, the state of Wuthering Waves is actually getting better. In just 1 week, they have fixed major problems with the game and they have given great compensation rewards to everyone. There are still problems, but I am sure they will be fixed with time. I just want to say, as the last part of this video, Genshin could never